Is Errol Spence slowing down? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Obviously, we had the media workouts not too long ago, a few days ago. And when you're watching this, maybe it's a little bit longer. I don't know, but it was interesting to see because a lot of people think that Errol Spence has taken a step back in terms of his speed and agility, and people think that's going to play a role come fight night, July 29th. We're less than around a week away from the fight actually going down, and I think that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, it's going to be the mega fight. It's going to live up to everything that we thought it would. I think that Errol Spence is going to go in there very fundamentally sound as always. He's going to win rounds early, and I think that the pace is going to eventually slow down Terrence Crawford, and I think it's going to become his biggest issue. It's going to be tough to fight a guy who's so fundamentally sound. Despite, don't get me wrong, I praise Terrence Crawford all the time. Switch hitter. The counter puncher, stylistically probably the more fan-friendly fighter. The hand speed's on his side. The counter punching, that's a lot to give to a guy, but yet I'm still picking Errol Spence in the fight just because of the way that I think that they're built. I think that Errol Spence is going to fight behind that jab. He's going to wait for Terrence Crawford to make a mistake where he overcommits and then land his shots, and he's gonna land consequential blows. And I always say that I think that Terrence Crawford has gotten away with so much because he hasn't fought opposition that has allowed him to deal with the consequences of taking risks like he does. Obviously, we've seen it where in fights where Terrence gets hit, he gets angry. Like take the Gamboa fight, for example, because everybody likes to bring that up and say, that's the fight where Terrence got exposed, but he also stopped the guy in that fight. He stopped Gamboa after being hurt, right after that, immediately. So that tells me that he's willing to take the risk. If he gets hit, if Terrence Crawford gets hit, he wants to get his get back right away. And I think against a guy like Errol Spence, he's not going to be able to do that because Errol is going to make him pay, in terms of taking that risk, lunging in. And Errol Spence, his body work is just tremendous to me, and I think that's going to play a big factor come Saturday night. And I think that Errol Spence is so disciplined, he's so fundamentally sound that I'm willing to bet more so on Errol Spence's ability to stay composed, to stay disciplined within that 12-round duration, or however long the fight ends up playing out to be. I think that Errol Spence is going to get the better of Terrence Crawford in certain exchanges. I obviously, there's going to be back and forth. There's going to be a chess match. That's why this fight is so big, because obviously it's going to be competitive. But I think that Errol Spence, he brings that level of, I'm not here to do anything fancy, but I'm going to show you why I made it this far. I'm going to show you why I break bones, why I stop guys, why I'm the big fish of the division, why I fought a more prime Sean Porter and was able to get a victory, as opposed to you who fought Sean basically 2 years after the fact, after seeing Errol Spence fight. Because I always say that Errol Spence and Sean Porter fight was key for Terrence Crawford. He had to see that to see where he gauged with Errol Spence, where he stood with Errol Spence, where he stands with the best. And then he said, okay, I think I could beat Sean, I could take him. And then he fought Sean, and Sean's just that type of fighter that he can bring it in the ring. The intensity is high no matter what. But I think that his mentality wasn't on the same level as Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, put aside their friendship, and I think that's something that Sean wasn't necessarily able to do within the fight, and that translated into the fight, and that was the outcome. Sean didn't even technically get stopped on his own. His father wasn't happy with the preparation, so he took it upon himself to throw in the towel and say the fight was off, no more. And Sean still looked game. I would argue that Sean was more hurt in the Errol Spence fight, in that late knockdown, than he was in both of the 2 knockdowns that Terrence Crawford scored against Sean Porter combined. I saw Sean, I saw his eyes roll in the back of his head, as opposed to when Terrence Crawford, it was more so an accumulation of shots, and where Sean was off balance, and that's where the shots landed. Errol landed that left hand. It was kind of clean. It was more of a left hook, left uppercut kind of hybrid punch that he threw and landed on Sean, which was so consequential, which I think was the difference in the fight. But I think stylistically against fighting a guy who's a southpaw, a natural southpaw, I don't know if Terrence Crawford's going to be able to stay in that southpaw stance for too long, because Errol Spence, who is the natural southpaw, is going to have that advantage because he's so comfortable in it. I don't think he's going to out southpaw southpaw. When you're an orthodox fighter and then you're versing a guy who can switch, I think it's a little bit different. Just in terms of how common orthodox fighters are. I think that Errol Spence is just, with that jab he's so active with it, and I think that's what's going to be key, and I think that's what's going to give Terrence Crawford problems. But a lot of people are talking about how Errol Spence looks slow in the workout. Guys, he's not the type of guy that's going to try to impress you during a workout, a media workout, where it doesn't really matter. It's for the fans. Obviously, there are guys like Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, mainly Ryan Garcia, who kind of shows out during these media workouts to promote the fight. But these two fighters are going to let their skills pay the bills and do the talking in the ring. They're going to fight and put on a show. They're saying it's going to be like an old school fight. There's only one way to find out, and that's Saturday night, July 29th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going to be a tremendous fight. I hope you guys tune in. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. You guys know I'm going with the big fish, Errol Spence Jr. I think it's a late stoppage and or unanimous decision, but either way, I think Errol gets it done and in convincing fashion. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Does Errol Spence look like he's slowing down a bit? Because I think it's just a media workout. You can't really take away anything from that. It's not very telling or indicative of how a fighter is in fight shape, or if he's not. I think Errol Spence will be fine. He looked really good to me. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. That's going to do it for another Naz Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.